Testing, 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 testing. Okay. Slaki. All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom Yabashem Shabrakatham to the brothers, Shalom Yahawashim Bashem Yahushai to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Command of General Yohana. And we teach that all so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So I'm not going to take too much time with the introduction, but I'm pretty sure everybody's been keeping up with the news. Everybody loves celebrities and stuff. I was going to do a class because, another pagan holiday is coming up, Christmas. I'm not going to talk about Christmas. I think we've given that enough attention as it is. So we'll talk about a continuing issue that has been happening within our community. And of course, that is, the whoredom, the lying, the lust for money, just lust in general. I did a class on that last week as far as the lust is sexual. But we're going to be focusing more on the topic of whoredom and, the lust as more for money, right? You pretty much already can tell what I'm alluding to is talking about, of course, Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. Now, I just want to make something very clear. These are your everyday brothers and sisters right here, right? It doesn't matter if they got money. It doesn't matter if they're famous. That's not the point of this, right? There's a serious issue that brothers and sisters need to understand. So I'll get that done with as we continue with class. But for that being said, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And as of right now, we'll get started with the prayers. So Amadium, just me up here. Laya Sharala, which means to Israel. Amadium upon Yahakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered when doing the prayers. Brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered. So block you. All right, we're getting started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Godash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Salakia, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Latananawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa, Banasaiwan, Abal, Habashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wataparath, Lawalumyam, Aman. Now in the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. A cock, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Babakasha, Latanlanawa, Hakah, Hakah, Rapa'a, Call, Makala, Wakal, what's like, Madawa, Haka, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Haka, Lahaquayim, Hamatium, Haka, Io, Rakawath, Hatama Allah, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, for water, Aman. Now in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. These are the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Miyaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Wa Tazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapyim, Ha Saranyim, Ha Katazayoyin, Ha Kayayoyin, Wa Ha Akwapyin, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water of Mun. Now in the English, bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayinya, All, Haharim, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azoria, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Wa'yadan, Amawat, Wagalka, All, Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Athmapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Teza'afka, Wabawa'afka, Maida, Wa'ai, Awalam. Now in the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord. Salakia. Shalom, okay, sir. Concert next week. I'm doing prayers right now. I'll call you back when I get a chance. All right, Shalom, okay, sir. Salakia. Let's continue. Psalms 121 in the English. I'll lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy Salakia. The Lord shall preserve thy Salakia. Going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all the Miyalaka, all Takarash, wa all Tashakwat, all Kayahana, Al Yedika, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Waida, Ya'aitazawa, Al, Tizapawinika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Manakakidim, Magoya, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Awuda, Kaya, Atazawa, Laba, Jakadwa, Ayaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahaya, Adawam, Wayashimaalim, Mawaba, Wahagorim, Gabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Palashath, Amishabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Ayamam, Ayawa, Zorawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamudyam, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayebian, Manakal, Koyashwan, Nishamarwa, Ba'ayan, Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shayadamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kai Rab, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakazzomanai, Kol, Asayakamwa, Ashar, Amawa, Nearasha, Lanawa, Af, Naawaf, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayadamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Waka'a, Ka'ash, Tabaira, Yaira, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Haryam, Kun, Taradama, Basairaka, Wabasa, Wapatha, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Paniham, Twalawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shemka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Dayawa, Kaya Ata, Shemka, Yahawa, Labarka, Aliwan, Alcohol, Harataza. Now in the English, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asor also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zaid, yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Almunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Let me see something. All right, you may be seated. Let me see something. Let's see, man. I asked during the Hanukkah week. I saw in the class they stay burning during the whole 8 days. Oh no, sis. We get more candles and then we just, reburn them. But yes, we continue to burn it throughout the 8 days. We just add more candles. Salakia. Shalom, I see everybody in the chat. Salakia. Okay, so today, let's see, we're going to be starting off with the book of Genesis. We'll go over a different account in the Bible. Let's go over Genesis chapter 38. Let's see, Genesis 38. And let's see. I might just start at 1. Go all the way through it. Yeah, let's start with that. All right, so this is the book of Genesis, chapter 38, and verse 1. La'ach, let's see, Yahweh, Ka'aif, Haya'ah, Waya Ra'ad, let's see, Yahweh, let's see, Ma'ath, Akaya'ah, Ayat, let me see, Aid, Ayash,
Ada Lamya, Yashama'a, Kaya Da'a, Waya Da'a Sham, Yahawada, Ka'af, Ayash, Kanya Ai Naya, Yashama A, Sha'ai, Ya'akwa Ka'a, Ma'a, Allah Ya'a, Yatha Ha'ad, Yathala'ad, Ka'an, Kwada'a, Af, Shamya, Id, Yatha Ha'ad, Ayad, Hathala'ad, Kun, Yathaqwa Da'a, Af, Shamya, Ayana'an, Yatha Ta'ap, Yatha Ta'ap, Ayad, Yatha La'ad, Kun, Yathaqwa Da'a, Af, Shamya, Shala'a, Yahweh. Let's see. Ma Slakia. Bakataza Ya'ab, Kala Da'afa, Athaya, Ya'akwa Kwa'ach, Yahawada, Asha'a, La'id, Kabayadaya, Yasha Ma'a, Thamad, Slakia, let's see, Yahweh, Io, Ka-Ba-Na'ad, Yahawada, Io, Ka-I-Yanya. Let's see, Yahweh, Waya Matha Ayad, Yahweh.
All right, that's it for that. So that's the first 7 verses. Salakia. All right, so we're going to be going over the book of Genesis, chapter 38. Let's see, verse 1. Okay, so, and it says, Salakia. Get this. Give me 1 second, y'all. Salakia. Okay. So the book of Genesis, chapter 38 and verse 1. And it came to pass that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite, whose name was Harai, or it's like Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was... Actually, no, this is not the one I want. Salakia. I don't want to start that far. We're going to do something else. Salakia. Actually, no, we could start there. Salakia, we can start there. And she conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Now, if I could, real quick, it's a little off topic, right? These are a few good precepts to go to, just in case if somebody ever tries to challenge you. Of course, here in the school, we say you are who your forefather is. We don't care about a phenotype, or I know some of our Gadite brothers and sisters, some Isupk brothers and sisters, they do the, blood quantum. For those of y'all who don't know, it's how you measure how native you are. And black people, we ain't no better. You know, if you don't look black, we consider you not black, even though your father might be black, right? Because if you go into the Blue Letter Bible, if you don't got it, I strongly urge you to go download it on your phone. It's free. Literally takes like 2 seconds, depending on your connection, unless you got Sprint or something, Salakia. But if you get that, you can start looking at the etymology and definitions of the words in the Bible. You can get the Hebrew definition. And if you look at the sons and the daughters, you're going to go through the lineage of Judah, right? And it's actually going to say that these children are Israelites. Actually, it defines them as Judites, just so we're clear. It's a little off topic. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick. But we'll continue. Let's see. And it says, verse 4. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son and called his name Shelah. And he was at Kazib when she bare him. And Judah took a wife from his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. So who's one of Judah's sons, he was wicked in the eyes of the Lord, right? So of course, if you're being wicked in the eyes of the Lord, you're going to die. You might not die suddenly, but the Lord going to get his get back. Understand that. And people often have this misrepresentation of why the Most High does that. You know, you read scriptures in the Bible of the Most High being so benevolent to the children of Israel, but it also says that the Lord can be terrible. Just keep that in mind, right? If you're being wicked in the eyes of the Lord has to kill you. That sounds kind of harsh, right? But the reason why is, you ever heard that term, one bad apple will spoil the whole bunch? I remember General Mahyman broke this down in a class a long time ago. And let's say it's a little off topic, but I'm gonna go over a couple of things, right? If you're a child molester, right, the Lord might not kill you right away. The Lord may give you chances to redeem yourself, give you some warnings here and there, wherever it may be, right? Might get some jail time, go to rehab. I don't know. Maybe you were molested. I don't know, right? Now, let's say throughout all that, your family tried to help you, your friends try to talk some sense into you, but you just keep molesting kids. Here's the thing. If the Lord don't kill you, you're going to keep harming your own people. And then guess what? You molest a kid, then they're going to grow up all dysfunctional, and then they might be a child molester, or they might be a sodomite, or they might be abusive. There might be violence, getting into domestic violence. That's a thing too, right? It might be suicidal. You just never know the damage that you can create for your Akim and Akwathim, right? So the Lord got to kill you. So whatever it was that Judah's firstborn, was doing, the Lord didn't like it. He died, right? But if we can read up top real quick, it says in verse 6, and Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. So it says in verse 8, and Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his, and it came to pass, when he went unto his brother's wife, he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also, right? So he was supposed to, just so we're clear, the brother was dead. So, she wasn't married to the brother or anything like that. He was supposed to impregnate the sister, but that did not happen, right? Let's see. Let me see. She is more Salakia. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. So what he's saying is, okay, here's this woman, right? She's grown, Tamar. And now Shelah, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. His son right now, he's still an adolescent in a sense, right? He's not grown, he's not mature, he's not a man yet. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to save this woman for his son when he gets older so that he can marry her. Till Shelah my son be grown, for he said, lest periods like
lest peradventure he die also. Also his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. It's like, and Judah was comforted and went up to his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. So Judah's wife, she died, right? And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garment off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife.
So she was said to wait for Shelah, to get older so that he can wife her, but she was still unmarried.
When Judah saw her, he thought her to be
an harlot. This is kind of what I wanted to get into, right? Probably wondering, why am I going over this account? So I'm going to read that one more time, just in case anybody missed it. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot. We all know what a harlot is, right? A harlot is it's a whore, prostitute, whatever you want to call it. So Judah is mistaken Tamar for being a whore. So let's read what happens after this, right? Because she had covered her face, and he turned unto her by the way and said, go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. What he's saying is, let me have sex with you. You got to see the spirit behind this. I'm not going to give it away just yet, right? So just so we're clear, Judah thought that Tamar, who is in a sense disguising herself because her face was covered, and he thought her to be a whore. Now, our brother's supposed to sleep with whores. Are we supposed to sleep with prostitutes? No. Just for any fake Israelite who might see this video, because I don't know, I've been hearing some wild stuff. I've been seeing brothers saying stuff like, oh, it's a business transaction. Oh, in the hell it's not. You're disgusting. Okay, there's scriptures in the Bible saying, do not prostitute thy daughter. So if you're sleeping with a prostitute, look, that's somebody's daughter. Okay, so you're partaking in the action. Just so we're clear on that, right? I want to get that out the way. So he thinks that she's a whore, so he wants to sleep with her. Let's keep reading. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. So he didn't know that this was his daughter-in-law. He just thought that this was just some hooker on the street, whatever, right? Let's keep going. And she said, what wilt thou give to me? Oh, it's like, what wilt thou give me that thou mayest come in unto me? So she's asking like, okay, well, what you going to give me? This is like prostitute talk in a sense. Like, you going to pay to have sex with her, right? So she's asking, okay, well, what you going to give me? Let's keep reading. And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock, not a literal kid. For those y'all, a kid is like a baby goat, right? A kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thy hand. And he gave it to her. So this is like jewelry. Let's see, when you're writing in Hebrew to your right. Oh, when you're doing your Hebrew, sis, so it's going to be right to left. Khan. Yeah, right to left, not left to right. Left to right, that's the European way. That's how we were taught. It's right to left. So let me see. Slakia. So yeah, these are the bracelets. These are what am I looking at? Currency. This is currency, right? This is his currency that in his mind he is going to pay this prostitute so that he can have sex with her, right? So let's keep going. We'll go to verse 19. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 38, verse 19. And she arose and went away and laid by her, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend, the Adulamite, to receive his pledge from the woman's hand. But he found her not. So he's like, where is she? Then he asked the men of the place, saying, where is the harlot
that was openly by the wayside. And they said,
there was no harlot in this place. So he's like, what? Like, nah, there was a hole here. I know I seen her. What are you talking about? So he's trying to look for it, right?
And he returned to Judah, and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, let her take it to her. Slakia, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her.
So he's trying to, fulfill the promise of sending her the baby goat of his currency for having sex with her.
And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law,
hath played the harlot.
And also, behold, she is with child
by whoredom. So, if you're wondering what just happened, Tamar tricked Judah, right? She had the the veil over, so she covered her face. So he had sex with her, and now 3 months later, turns out, surprise, surprise, she was the harlot. She was the harlot. She was the whore in a sense, right? So now she's showing up. You gotta think, 3 months done went by, so she got the little baby bump now. She's showing.
And Judah said, bring her forth and let her be burnt. So here's the thing. Judah,
he hasn't caught on yet. He's wondering, like, what? Why is she pregnant? Like, my son didn't marry her yet. What's going on here?
And Salakia, verse 25, when she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, am I with child? And she said, discern, I pray thee, whose are these? The signet and bracelets and staff.
So she's like, oh, you don't know who I am? But look, remember all these artifacts, this jewelry that you gave me? And Judah looking at it like, oh, snap. So let's keep going.
And Judah acknowledged them, and he said, she hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more.
So why am I reading this? What is the purpose of going over this, right? He says, she was more righteous than I. I don't want to say it just yet, but I'll let somebody else take a stab at it. Why do you think Judah said that? I see there's a few people that's checking in right now. Shalom Akwath, I see you. Why do you think Judah said that Tamar, the one who played the harlot, she was more righteous than him? Why do you think that? There's a reason why I'm going over this account. I'll give everybody just a quick second. If anybody wants to put it in the chat, take a stab at it, see why he said that. Why do you think he said that? So nobody got it? Okay, so I'll just say it then. The reason why Judah is saying that Tamar was more righteous than him is because you got to look at the spirit behind Judah as to why he did what he did. He slept with this woman, not because it was Tamar, because he thought that she was a whore. He thought that this was a prostitute. Now, of course, we know that you're not supposed to sleep with whores. But Judah, in his mind, anyway, he slept with a whore. She wasn't actually a whore. She just pretended to be one to get with him. That's the whole spirit behind it. He would have never slept with her if he didn't think she was a whore. So the point is, it was lust. He wanted to mess around with a hoe. And that's the problem with Judah. That's the problem with not just Judah, with a lot of brothers today. You love hoes. You love them. You love them and you'll do anything for them. You show them all the attention in the world. You'll destroy a whole marriage over a whore. right? And every single time brothers want to mess around with whores, it never ends well. It never ends well, right? And the reason why I wanted to go over this account and go a little bit more is because, as you already know, Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion, right now, just so we're clear, both this brother and this sister are wrong, right? Because they in the world. I don't give a damn if they got money. They in the world. You know, this brother is no different from any other rapper, celebrity, etc., etc. He goes out, he probably buys whores himself, has sex with all these different types of women, does drugs, gets tattoos, sleeps with heathen women. I mean, celebrates pagan holidays. I mean, the list goes on. You get my point? So the reason why I'm going over this is because Tory Lanez, like a lot of brothers do today, he has this lust for whores and he has a lust for money. That's the whole problem. Like, Tory Lanez would have never gotten into the situation that he got into if he wasn't living the lifestyle. And there's a scripture that I'm going to give real quick. Let's go to the book of Mark. Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 36. So it says right here, and this is in red, by the way. This is Christ speaking. So this is the book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? We all know that the music industry is wicked. It's like anything else. It's not just the music industry. It's anything that Esau tries to promise you. It always comes with a double-edged sword. You know, yeah, we'll give you all this, but you got to do this, right? And as soon as you stop listening to your master, that's when bad things start happening, right? Now, Tory Lanez is no different from any other brother. He decided, you know, he's talented, whatever, he can sing, rap, all that. And he decided that, okay, he wanted to go full-fledged into it, get into the music industry, and do whatever he had to do to make a name for himself. Now, I believe the brother's a Benjamite, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's like Barbadian. I think he's from Barbados. So this brother does what everybody else does. And, you know, he started messing around with Meg the High Horse, Meg the Stallion. I know sisters love Meg the Stallion, right? Now, she ain't no better, right? Meg the Stallion, she does what every other sister does today. Nicki Minaj, I don't even know if Nicki Minaj is a sister. I think she might be a heathen, but people think she's a sister. So I'll just use her as an example. You got Saweetie. I don't know if y'all ever listened to Saweetie. Her music is trash. Salakia. I can't stand that voice. But she's another sister that perverts herself. She perverts herself for money. Like, you look at music videos today, I mean, okay, rap videos, you know, all that has always been a little dicey, but now, I mean, it's like softcore pornography at this point. It's ridiculous. Like, and they'll show everything that they possibly can. I mean, they're pretty much naked. There's been music videos where the women are just full on naked. They just like edit certain things out to make it seem like they're not, right? So now Meg Thee Stallion, she perverts herself. I've heard Meg Thee Stallion rap before. Like, actually, like, rap, not about the, you know, I can't even say it. My boxes, like, she, like, when she wasn't doing all that, she actually not that bad. I'll be real. But that's not what sells. No, sex sells. Lust sells. Perverting yourself. A black woman shaking her behind for the whole world to see. That's what sells. What? Damn it, what's her name? Ice Spice. I think she's Dominican. Ice Spice. She don't even rap. The sister literally gets up on stage. She'll be rapping her little lyrics. The crowd don't do nothing. So when does she do? Well, when in doubt, shake my ass. That's exactly what she does. And then the crowd go crazy. Like, oh my gosh. You know, that's what we got to do for money now. So you got to think about that, where it says, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world? So you gain in this fame, this fortune. Everybody loves you. You're in the public eye. You're a sex symbol. You're all these things, right? You're noticed. You're noticed. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world, but lose his own soul? So Tory Lanez
Oh, Shalom. It's like, is that open? Yeah, just close it for me, Bubba Kasha.
Let's see. Nikki dad is East Indian, from what I heard. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that he might be East Indian. I don't know for sure, but honestly, at this point, I don't even care at this point. I mean, she's a whore regardless. That's the whole point with her. But Slakia, I don't lost my whole train of thought. But my point is, yeah, these celebrities, these people have gained so much materialistic wise, right? And they've gained the whole world, so to speak. But then in the process, you lose yourself. You gotta think about it. From what I heard, so Tory Lanez, he got convicted of whatever it was. I don't even know like the whole entire story, but I do know enough about this. I know that that's just a lying. I know that much, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. From what I've seen and what I heard, they found like fingerprints of somebody else. This is the same sister that was denying that they even had sex, which is, let's be realistic right now. Like, I seen it was like a little video, like they were like hanging out or whatever, and like the sister was cheesing all up on him. I'm like, well, I mean, they done did something, right? I remember they asked her, "Did you and Tory Lanez?" And she's like, no. I'm like, come on, bruh. Like, let's be for real. Let's be for real, sis. We all know that y'all been doing the do in a sense, right? So she's lying about a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna take no sides. I ain't gonna make it seem like the brother ain't wicked. The brother wicked too. That's how he got in this mess. He got in this mess because he gave up his soul. He gave up his spirit. He gave up his rights as an Israelite to conform to Esau's society in order to gain these materialistic things. Now look at it. You done got all that money and you're going to jail. Can't do much in jail. Now, realistically, do I think he's going to serve the full 22 years? No. Personally, no. I don't think he will. Brother too rich for that. But I do know this. The thing about deporting him. Remember, he wasn't born in the United States. I think he's from Canada, actually. Brother's from Canada. And I think he was actually born in Barbados. So he's not from here. Technically, he's a foreigner, right? Now they think about deporting a brother. You don't think that's going to hurt his career? You don't think that's going to hurt his money? And he's not the only one. I know it's been some time, but there's been brothers. What was it? PB and Rock, brother PB and Rock. He died, right? He got shot up. Then it was Takeoff. Takeoff. Look, that was sad. That was crazy. Like the brother, they wasn't even going for the brother. He just got caught up in the crossfire. He's dead. All that money, multimillionaire, dead. And you got to think, Migos. What was it? I'm Salaki. I forgot all their names. Offset, Quavo. They're literally family. In case y'all didn't know that, like they were actually family. Like they grew up together. You got to think like that was their brother, man. Like, and he's dead over what? But this is the lifestyle that we live. We think that money is gonna solve everything. We think that living this lifestyle of chasing hoes, smoking weed, and we live in this lavish lifestyle. We in a big mansion now. And you think, oh, it's all good now. I'm saved. I'm doing well for myself. No, you're not. You ain't, look, just because you got a little bit of money don't mean that you're not about to be at the Lord's mercy if you want to keep being wicked. Okay, we just read last week about King David. Don't get me wrong, great brother, but he messed up when he was messing around with Bathsheba. And he had to be punished for that. And somebody else died for that. He didn't even die. Actually, no, two people died. His newborn and the Hittite Uri, right? Dead. People die for this type of stuff. And brothers need to really, y'all gotta, look, man. Y'all gotta get in class if y'all not in class already. If I could you give me, let's see if I get it. You got Apocrypha with you? I'm gonna have you go into Ecclesiasticus. Actually, yeah, Ecclesiasticus. Let me see. Portion. I believe Ecclesiastes 26. Just hold that for me real quick. And then I'm actually going to get this one real quick. Let's see, I'm going to get Proverbs. Get Proverbs 23 and 27. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. But I'm going to read this real quick. 23. Proverbs 23 and 27. Pretty sure we've seen this precept before, right? But I'm going to read it for everybody. Proverbs 23 and 27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. Now, for those of y'all wondering what a strange woman is a heathen woman, a woman from another nation, right? But that's not the topic I want to get to right now. It's the whore is a deep ditch, okay? Brothers, it don't matter how much money you have. If you're messing around with a whore, at some given point, you're going to get the short end of the stick, brother. It's going to happen. Don't believe me? Look at Tory Lanez. He ain't the first. He's just the latest. That's all. The brother is about to go to jail over a crime that he may or may not have even committed, right? And they caught her lying multiple times on a lot of things. And, well, he's still going to jail. Why? Because that's the Lord's judgment. People need to understand that. That's the Lord's judgment. I'm not up here to defend the brother in a sense. I'm not taking any sides. This is what the Lord is going to do. He is punishing Tory Lanez because he's one of God's chosen people. He don't know it, but he's one of God's chosen people. Maybe he do know. I don't know. A lot of these celebrities be watching us. My point being is he's lived this wicked lifestyle for so long. The brother not that old neither. And now he done messed with the wrong whore. And they gave the whore a voice because that's what they do here in America now. And because of that, his whole career is probably about to end now. Like I said, I personally don't feel like he's going to serve the full 22 years. But now what little image that he did have, I mean, it's tainted now. He's possibly going to get deported. Who knows how his career is going to unfold now, right? And for what? Realistically, for what? For messing around with a whore? That's his punishment. The Lord is judging him for the wickedness that he has committed up to this day. And don't think that it ain't having no effect on Meg Thee Stallion either, because her image been shot. Who is it? I think it's her new man. I don't know. Saying things like he was embarrassed because of her high body count. I don't know what her body count is, and personally, I don't want to know. But you gotta think about that. Like, as a man, you with a woman, you like this woman. First of all, the brothers. Okay, if I could, the brothers should know better anyway. I mean, like, look at the music that she makes. I wouldn't take her to be a virtuous woman who's, keeping herself. I wouldn't think that of her. So that was already foolish in the sense of itself. But you gotta be like, to publicly be embarrassed of her high body count because of how she carries herself. Come on, you got to do better. I say this right now. Brothers outside the Isupk and the Commanding General Yohana do not know how to pick a woman. All right. Now, Most High in Christ for the brothers, when they do come in here, they come in here with their rib. And she was already solid. She was already riding with him anyway. And then Most High in Christ, they changed their evil, wicked ways. And now she's a woman of the Lord who's even more devoted to her husband. We've seen that all the time. So Most High in Christ to those couples, right? But then you have brothers who come in who they're not as lucky in a sense, right? They're not as lucky. They come in without a rib or maybe a wicked rib, and she don't like the fact that you don't want to smoke weed no more. You don't want to celebrate Christmas no more, or Valentine's Day, or get tattoos, do drugs, God knows what else. I'll repeat some other stuff, but I'm not. So now she don't like you no more, and she's gonna leave you because you're boring now. You're boring, and she wants excitement. She never really loved you. It's lust, and that's what we have right here with Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. That sister don't, sister ain't love him. That's lust. She wanted a good time. He wanted a good time. They had their good time, and now, at the end of it all, I think she got shot. I don't know who did it. At this point, I don't even care anymore. Her reputation is shot. His reputation is shot. And he going to jail. Nobody wins. And now, as usual, black people are the laughing stock of the planet. How is it that we are so talented and so gifted in damn near anything that we do, but time and time and time again, we are constantly being mocked? No one takes us seriously. You go to these other look, you think you got it bad in America, go to these other countries. See how they view black people. They love your culture. Don't get me wrong. They love our culture. They love sing and dance and, you know, all that. They love that stuff. But when it comes to respecting us as a people, no. Wasn't it just recently? I don't watch soccer, Salakia. But it was, I want to say, a brother from South America. And he was doing an interview. And I believe it was somebody from, I wish I could. No, it was Iran. It was Iranian. And they were interviewing him. And you could hear the hate in this heathen's voice. Like, and it was so microaggressive. It was so feminine, honestly. And the brother's just he's answering just basic questions. And I believed he pronounced Iran wrong. And I believe it's actually pronounced Iran. Not that I care, personally. I'm still going to call it Iran. But this heathen took so much offense to it that he just started calling him out. And he was like asking him stuff. I wish I still had the video. He was saying something like, how does it feel to be a slave in your own country or something like that? And I'm just like, where the hell did that come from? And, you know, luckily the brother, he handled himself professionally, but it was like, that's how the world views you. They love what we do, but they don't love you. That makes sense, right? But I want to get into this whole thing of brothers just messing with whores and messing with wicked women and what happens to you if you mess with wicked women. So if I could you give me, let me make sure that's the right one. It's in the Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. Give me 1 second. Just hold that for me. Let me see if I want to start you in verse 1 or not. Let me see. 26. Okay, you can start at verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 26.
Mm-hmm. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 1.
26 and 1.
Yeah, kind of.
Rocky.
No, you swap. It's Ecclesiasticus, right? Not Ecclesiastes. Yeah, just make sure it's Ecclesiasticus. Sometimes people get it mixed up. So I want to break this down real quick. I'm pretty sure those who have been in school long enough have probably already heard these scriptures before, but I want to reiterate how important it is for brothers to choose wisely. First of all, don't mess with whores. I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory, right? Stay away from that. But if you do happen to get involved with a sister, right, you need to be mindful. You need to be mindful because what people need to understand is that a woman is an extension of her man. You know, why do you think we call our women ribs? A rib is a part of you. You understand? You can read the book of Genesis, right? In the beginning. That's what Genesis actually means, in the beginning. So when you take on a woman, you take on a responsibility. She becomes a part of you, right? So whatever she does, it's not just about her anymore. Whatever she does, whether it be good or bad, it doesn't just represent her. It represents you, right? So you need to be wise of the type of women that you deal with. Tory Lanez is not wise. There's a lot of brothers out there who think they know women. You don't know women, you don't, right? But you got it?
Come on, come.
Okay, so Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 1.
Blessed is a man that haveth a virtuous wife,
Mm-hmm.
for the number of his days shall be doubled.
So it says that the number of his days shall be doubled. Why are his days going to be doubled? Because that woman is going to take care of him. She's going to nurture him. She's going to be there for him. She's going to love him. Here's the thing that, for the sisters out there, right? No brother likes a masculine woman. Okay. We as men, as I don't, it's a shame that I even have to say this, but I got to reiterate this. Not just a man, a straight man who is not a part of the rainbow community. We like feminine women, right? You got to think, as a man, as a black man, as a Latino man, as a Native American man, we constantly got to fight. Not physically, mentally, spiritually. We got to fight. We got to be careful with every little thing we do, because if we mess up just even a little bit, we're going to get demonized for it. You understand? We got to go to a job that half the time we don't even like. We got to deal with people that we don't even like. We got to worry about not just ourselves, but we got to worry about our family. We got to protect you. We got to protect the kids. You understand? So we got to fight with everybody else, especially here in this society, because, I mean, if you say anything that is masculine, they call it either it's toxic masculinity or you're being misogynistic, which is an anomaly within itself, because to be misogynistic would mean that you have hatred towards or you're prejudiced against women. And I don't know about y'all, but I love women. I know you love women. We love our sisters. So I couldn't be misogynistic, right? So it says that the number of his days shall be doubled, because instead of being masculine and trying to fight that brother, she's going to be feminine. She's going to care for him. She's going to be there for him. She's going to stick by his side. You might get into some, disagreements and stuff. That's normal. Your husband is a man. You're a woman. By default, you already think differently anyway. That's normal, but work it out. You understand? Don't do stuff like Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion, right? But you can keep going out. Verse 2.
Verse 2, a virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
And what was the last one you just read? The last two words.
He shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
In peace. That's what brothers want. Tory Lanez ain't got no peace. That brother does not have peace. Okay? Because he chose to mess with a whore. You understand? He's not going to get peace. He is suffering now because of the actions that he has committed, right? Brothers want peace more than anything else. Brothers want the feeling of being able to go home to his rib, and it's a sense of peace there, right? We don't want to fight everybody to come home to fight with you. It's just facts, right? That's how a lot of marriages end, right? What they like to say, happy wife, happy life. That's a half truth. Of course you want your wife to be happy, of course. But what about the husband? You know how they exclude the husband out of there. It's just happy wife, happy life. Well, why can't it be happy husband and happy wife? Why is the wife the only one that has to be happy? Because I'll tell you right now, it's a lot of times, look, I've seen it. It's been a lot of brothers, both like just in the world in general, from when I've grown up within my family, and they do everything they can to keep that woman happy. And that brother is miserable, just miserable, right? And then the relationship ends. Now, here in the school, of course, we know that sex is marriage. So you're not divorcing no woman unless she commits adultery, which is like high treason type stuff, right? But in the world, brothers and sisters don't follow that. It was the hookup culture. We think a ring signifies a marriage. That's what we think, right? So because of that, you'll be messing around with a sister for 5 years. You don't even realize you've been married to that sister for 5 years, but she wicked. You didn't take the time to get to know her before you stuck your rod in her, and now you stuck with her. That's why a lot of times the woman don't want to leave. Like that, a lot of times the woman does not want to leave. She'll be emotional. She'll do things out of spite. You understand? She'll cheat out of spite. She'll lie out of spite. She'll do that stuff. Probably because she's wicked anyway, but it's all out of spite. A lot of times they don't really want to leave. Usually. Right? But let's see. You could drop that. You can give me Stay. Okay, so stay. Go to verse 9.
The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids.
Right. So it says right there, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. I'm about to hurt somebody's feelings. Y'all see them sisters out there? Oh my gosh. Just loud. What you call the hot Cheeto girls, whatever. Right. I know Isupk sisters, they be doing that too with the long nails and the what is it? The lashes. The lashes, you know, y'all like y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all laughing because y'all know what I'm talking about. Salakia. But it's that look. Like, here's the thing about spirits, if I could real quick. Spirits have a way of showing themselves out, right? So if a woman is a whore on the inside, it's gonna show on the outside. It's the same thing with like somebody who's a sodomite. They're a sodomite on the inside. They'll try to hide it. Some of them will try to hide it. Well, not so much now. Now they're proud about it now. But in the past, I know usually they would try to hide it. But you always like see something. Like, that brother seemed kind of weird. Why that brother walk like that? Why he talk like that? His mannerisms just seem kind of off. That's just the kind of masculine. You see it on them. It's no different with whoredom. You see it on them. They're haughty. They're proud of being a whore. Like I said, they gave Meg Thee Stallion a voice. She's proud. She was, I seen, it was a clip of her at some concert, and she took the microphone. This is when the whole abortion thing was going on. She took the microphone, and she was like, everybody say it with me now. My body, my choice. And you hear all the women in there, my body, my choice. They was livid with it. And she was proud. She was proud to have this idea of, I don't want to have that baby. I'm going to get rid of it. Because it's my body. The man ain't got no say so. It's haughty. It's proud. You see it in her presence. You see it on her eyelids. The fake ass lashes. Salakia. Salakia. But we'll see. We're gonna keep going, right? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Give me verse 14.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
A silent and lucid woman is a gift.
It says lucid or loving?
And there is nothing so her mouth worth as a mind.
Uh-huh.
Well instructed.
Okay, so verse 14, right? It says a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. It's a gift. Now, okay. Let me ask you, brother. What would be a reason for you to give anyone a gift? Just in general. But why would you give someone a gift?
To show appreciation.
To show appreciation, right? Now, it says that a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. So the Lord is giving you a gift, right? Now, exactly what you just said. Why would the Lord give you a gift?
Because I earned it by doing his will.
Exactly. Because the Lord appreciates you. You just said it. You're right. The Lord appreciates what you have done. You're following the law, statutes, and commandments. You're walking in the steps of your forefathers, and you're honoring the covenant that the Lord made between Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you know what? The Lord is going to look at you like, you know what? This brother right here, I appreciate this brother. He not like the rest of them. So you know what? You get a gift. And that gift, in this specific scripture right here, is A silent and loving woman. A woman who's not going to sit here and argue with you all the time. Always trying to find some way to bring you down, belittle you, emasculate you. Of course, yes, you're going to have some disagreements. We know this. It's normal. But you can have a disagreement with someone without disrespecting them. Because, you know, some sisters, not even sisters, just in general, some people, like, they disagree with you and then they'll just start calling you out your name. You know, like, you bit, like, you know, you ain't that. Like, I can't even repeat half the stuff right now, right? Because that's really how they feel deep down inside. I've had disagreements with people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to disrespect them. That doesn't mean I'm going to call that person out their name. I'm going to belittle them. Like, what you don't want to do is, because I've seen both men and women do this. I've seen it to where I've seen brothers argue, right? They'll argue, and it can be something petty, but then you see how it escalates. And then let's say one brother might know like a deep, dark secret about that brother. And next thing you know, he like, blah, blah, blah. That's why your wife cheated on you. And it's like, damn, like, why'd you take a jab at him like that? Like, you know, and it could have been something petty, right? And I've seen, sadly, some women who do that to their man in a relationship. You know, they get into an argument. She might bring up something from his childhood. Because, you know, you're going to talk to your rib. You're going to talk about things. But now she's going to use that as ammunition, as leverage against you. You don't want that kind of woman, right? A silent and loving woman will never do that. She might disagree with you, but she loves you enough to be like, hey, you know what? Okay, let's talk it out, right? At the end of the day, she's still going to be there for you. That's a gift from the Lord, right? Let's see. Let's skip down. Here's the one that I want. Let's see. Go to verse 22.
Ecclesiastes chapter 22, a harlot shall be accounted as spittle.
As spittle, keep going.
But a married woman towards an assault death to her husband.
So it says, a harlot shall be accounted as spittle. Spittle is, I mean, we all know what spittle is. It's nothing. It's germs. It's something that's not worthy, right? We don't give a damn, not even we. The Lord don't give a damn how pretty you are, right? Anybody can slap on makeup, for real. And physical beauty fades, right? But your spirit, on the other hand, that's what stays. So no one cares how good you look. No one cares if you get a Brazilian butt lift and, you know, get surgery done in a good night. A lot of y'all sisters hate yourselves. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. Y'all hate yourselves. Y'all not comfortable in your own skin. Now you want to do what these white women do, the Kardashians and stuff. They trying to look like you, and you trying to look like them. Like, come on now. Like, we got to do better. Have some self-worth in yourself. But it says right there that a harlot shall be accounted as spittle. You're nothing. You're nothing. Esau will give a whore power. The Lord will not give a whore power. And realistically, a lot of brothers give whores power. How do you do that? How could you give a whore power?
By giving her authority over you.
Okay. Yes. If I could, okay, I want to get a little bit more specific. What is something that brothers today do? Like, what is something that not we, but in general, do that would give a whore the idea that she has some type of power or status? What is something that we do?
Get them pregnant.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
we can smack them, but then we get put on what you call it. You know, we get involved with them. We get into an argument. We let the whore make us mad. We put our hands on her. Now we in jail. She got power. And, you know, we got to depend on her. Get us out.
Okay, so you're not wrong. That's a good example. Yeah, like that's a situation that you can get into. Like, that actually leads into my next precept, by the way, which we're going to read in a second. So what I wanted to say was the thing that brothers do today that gives whores power is that we give them validation. We give them you tawab, because that what you just said leads into what I'm about to get into next. We give them validation. We all seen it. Brothers be all up in a woman's like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, and y'all, oh my gosh, you so beautiful, you blah blah. Oh my gosh, I will marry you. Like, boy, shut up, slack it. Like, no, like, and we'll do this with women who we know they're whores. They'll have their OnlyFans link right there, right there. Twitter, forget about it. You can post stuff on that, right? And you could just see it. And brothers will just be like, oh my, like with the little heart emoji and, oh, I love her. And you don't love her. You want to have sex with her. That's what it is. But here's the thing. You got to think for a sister, she's seeing this. She might not acknowledge you, but you got to think you're probably like, what, the 100,000th brother that said that to her. Now she gassed up. Oh man, all these men want me. That's how Meg Thee Stallion feel. All these men want me. That's why she feels so comfortable and haughty. And that's why she feels like, I can rap about this stuff, because at the end of the day, all these men want to have sex with me. So if let's say I meet her in person and I'm like, you need to clean yourself up, or you shouldn't be doing that. Sister like that gonna look at me and be like, who the hell is this nigga? Like Salagi, like that's what she gonna look at me as, like, who are you? There's literally millions of men over here who are giving me validation for my whoredom. So she's going to keep doing it. That's the problem with brothers today. A whore only has power if you give them power. Meg Thee Stallion was given power because we keep validating her. Brothers love her. They probably hate the way she sound or whatever on her music, whatever, but they lust after her. And she's just one example. There's a gang of sisters out there who brothers do this to, right? That's the whole problem right there. Exactly, sis. Yeah, we entertain them. But here's the thing, right? I use one example. I say this all the time. Anybody who watches my classes knows I always talk about this. OnlyFans, right? Sisters do that to make what? Money, right? Now, imagine this. Imagine if all the men who've been subscribing to her little OnlyFans account just stopped. What do you think will happen to her?
She probably damn want to commit suicide. She gonna lose all that revenue.
No, for real. No, that seriously. There are some sisters that are like that. Like they live and breathe off of that validation. Once they don't get it no more, it's like their brain go haywire. Like, what? You pay attention to me. Some sisters do want to commit suicide. That is a fact. I'm glad you brought that up. All right. And then some of them, they're going to be forced to reevaluate their life. Now they done hoard themselves out their whole life. And now it's like, damn, I can't do that no more. They still going to try. Like, don't get it twisted. They still going to try because that's what they're used to. Because they've been validated for years and years and years. Now it's like, man, I got to get a real job. I got to go to school. Now, just think about that. Imagine if brothers actually held women accountable to certain things. That's the thing. Imagine if you viewed a woman for more than just her body. Look, I'll put y'all on game real quick. Sisters want to be paid attention to. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I don't want any sister to feel like I'm just getting on you. Like, no. Sisters want to be paid attention to by their man, right? I mean, the Lord literally made you to be a wife. For those of y'all who don't know, if you look at the Hebrew word for wife and woman, it's the same thing. The Lord wanted you to always be a wife. The Lord wanted you to have a man, right? So it's only natural. So it's only natural for a woman to want to do something that she feels like would attract a man. And the thing that we as brothers have always perpetuated for our women forever now, is that, or to get with us, or for us to pay attention to you, show you behind, twerk, do that, right? And brothers will sit here and gas them up. There be some sisters in the world, who be devoted to their man. And look, a man can have multiple wives, but a man is not supposed to have whores, right? There'll be brothers who have a wife that she loves them, but you'll go sleep with blah 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 blah. You got your hand up. What's going on?
Just like a question.
What's up?
What is lust supposed to be?
Lust?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Matter of fact, let me look it up for you right now. That's an excellent question. So you're asking, what does lust mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get a couple of definitions for you real quick. By the way, do any of y'all have a Blue Letter Bible? I suggest you download that on your phone if you could. It's very helpful. But I got you right now. So the brother's asking, what is lust? So let's see. Let me get a couple of definitions for you. Let's see. That's not the one I want. Let me get like a more literal definition for it. What is lust? That is actually a really good question. Okay, so this is the definition of lust in the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. So it says usually intense or unbridled sexual desire, or it can also mean an intense longing. So pretty much it's when, if I could break it down real quick, it's when you want something so bad that you're willing to do anything for it. That's pretty much what it is. Now, here's the thing. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. When you're old enough and you get yourself a wife, it's not a sin to lust after your wife in a sense. That's your wife when you get old enough, right? But the spirit of lust that I'm talking about, just like how last week, because you was here last week too when I was going over it. See now, for example, like King David, at that time, it was King David and it was Amnon. That sexual lust that they had, that the urge that they had to satisfy themselves was so strong that they were willing to break the law for it. That's what you don't want, right? Now, lust can be sexual, but it can also mean you could lust for money, like Tory Lanez and a lot of other brothers today. They lust for money. They lust for fame. It's this, you want it so bad that you'll do anything for it, even if you got to do something bad for it. That's bad. You don't want that. That's what you don't want, right? And this is why a lot of times you see brothers like Tory Lanez and they end up in the problems that they end up today because they're willing to do anything to get what they want. And they get what they want. The brother got money. He got the fame. He got the fortune. He got hit singles and, just like a lot of rappers today. But the thing is, it's short-lived. Eventually, all the wickedness that you committed, it comes back to you. And Tory Lanez, it was only a matter of time because this case has been going on for about 2 years, and now it caught up to him because he's lived a very wicked lifestyle, right? And now, not only that, he has messed around with a woman who just happens to be a sister who has created her career off of whoredom. So they're both wrong, just so we're clear. They're both being wicked. And because of this, they got together and now all this happened, if that makes sense. So I hope that answers your question. All right. On sign Christ. That was an excellent question, by the way. So let's see. What ended with this? There was one more scripture. I think it's like you still got Ecclesiastes 26. I believe it should be the very next verse, verse 23. If you could read that, Baba Kasha.
A wicked man, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man.
That's the one. If I could, I'm going to stop you right there real quick. So it said a wicked woman is given as portion to a wicked man. Here's another thing that some brothers might not want to hear. The type of woman you mess with says a lot about you. Just being real. Yes, we know Meg the High Horse is wicked. We know. But Tory Lanez wicked too because he messed around with her. That's what you got to think about that because there's a lot of brothers out here, and we've all seen it. I've had friends in the world, And I look at some of their ribs sometimes. I'm like, how in the hell did you even like? Out of respect, I don't say, but I'm like, how did you end up with her? But then sometimes you gotta look at yourself. Why? Why are you with a woman that disrespects you and puts her hands on you and, you know, cheats on you and all this other stuff? What does that say about you? Like I said earlier, a woman is an extension of her man. So if she's wicked as hell, it's probably because you're wicked as hell. And remember, we read earlier that the Lord gives gifts. Now, a loving and a silent woman, that's a gift from the Lord. But sometimes the Lord will give you a gift, but it won't be the kind of gift that you want. Read it from the top one more time.
A wicked woman
is
given as a portion to a wicked man.
Is given, right? It's given. Who gave that wicked woman to that wicked man? That was the Most High. Or sometimes it could be Satan too. That woman was given to you. That wicked woman was given to you as portion because you're wicked. That's what you got to understand. Like, that's why I wanted to reiterate. It's a shame what happened to the brother, but because of his actions, it's what led him to get to where he is right now. If that brother was one West, if that brother knew how to properly choose a woman, guess what? He never would have been in this situation because he never even would have messed around with the sister, but he don't know better. No brother knows better outside the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana. That's the problem. But keep reading.
But a good woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
So it says a good woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. This goes back to what we read earlier. A loving and a silent woman is a gift from the Lord. You see what I mean? So you can either get a good gift or you can get a bad gift. Okay, that says a lot about you as a person. That's why we need to take time to reflect on ourselves sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We know that. Go ahead.
But like, could you like change the wickedness, or is that like it's like just like an eternal thing? Like you like change the person, like the relationship, or like.
So you're asking, can you? So like you're asking, okay, so the woman is wicked, and you asking, can you change her?
Yeah.
So that's more up to her. You know, let's say, because that happens sometimes too. Let's say brother might come into the school, right? He got a rib. Rib is just wicked. There's a chance that she might actually love him. And she might be like, you know what? I've just been a horrible wife. I've been a horrible woman. I've done this. I've done that. Let me change. That can happen. You know what that's called? It's called repenting. It's called repenting. You're changing, right? But here's the thing. The Lord can't make you change. The Lord can put the tools in front of you, right? Because here's the thing. Everybody who came into the school, we chose to be in here. Really, the Lord guided us here, right? But we had to make a decision at one point. We had to make a decision, okay, am I gonna see this through? Or is this just gonna be like a one-time thing? And it's an everyday battle too, because there's brothers and sisters who come into school, they get their name and they leave. I've seen it. I've been in the school only a short time, but there were plenty of people before me who came in before me. They're not here anymore because they didn't really want to change. That has something to do with your spirit. So that matters on the person. So yeah, there's a possibility that the system might want to change, but that's up to her. And you'll know if she's really wicked or not. So these are, how old is he? Slaggy?
I'm 12.
You 12? This is a smart young man right here. You asking a lot of good questions. The water. But yes, that's what I wanted to get into real quick. You know, brothers need to understand, not just brothers, just everybody, right? Israel in general. Yes, the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. But at the same time, we need to understand the atrocities that we have committed and continue to commit to the Most High and see how that leads us to where we're at now. All right. So, because I know there's going to be brothers, y'all going to see them all over Facebook, all over TikTok, and they're going to be like, Tory Lanez did this. And you see the sisters, well, Meg did this. And, you know, picking sides and stuff. Realistically, y'all don't even know them. So shut up. Slakia. Like, y'all don't even know them. That's their business. But my point being is, that is not what you want to follow. You get my point? They're rich. They're rich. Meg Thee Stallion, she rich. Tory Lanez is rich. He going to jail. He's still going to be rich. You feel me? He got more money than me. I know that for sure. They both living better than me. But despite that, they're still destroyed. That's why I read earlier in the book of Mark, chapter 8, Mark 38, Mark 8 and 36, where it said, and I'm paraphrasing, what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world but lose his own soul? Now you're just like a husk. You're not really living. You're just existing. There's a difference, right? Because before you came into the school, you were dead. If y'all don't understand what that means, meaning that before the Most High breathed life into you, just like how he did with Adam, you were dead. But now you're in here and you learned how to live. Understand that. So, Slakia, that's all I got for that. Y'all got any more questions? Go ahead, young man. What you got?
One more thing. So, like there's like different like things of like lust, right? Like money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what if you like the person is like already like famous and like rich and all that stuff? Like, what if you like need the money? Not like want like you do anything for like. What if you just like need the money though?
So that's not lust. If somebody needing money, that's not lust. Like, because we all need money. Like, when you get old enough, like, you're gonna get a job. It's just how society is right now. Like, I have to have a job. Personally, if you ask me, I don't give a damn about my job, for real. I'm waiting for Christ to come back to burn everything down so I can go laugh in all their faces, personally. But I need a job. I need a job because I need money. I gotta pay my bills. All right, if I can't get no gas, I ain't gonna be able to get to school, and I can't teach Sabbath. So there's nothing wrong with needing money, but what you don't want to do, you don't want to become so money hungry. You don't want to be that brother that chases. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get a precept for you. There's a scripture for that. Let me see if I can get one real quick. Okay. I believe it is 1 Timothy 6 and 9, I believe. Let me see. 1 Timothy 6 and 9. Okay, so it's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money, I'm pretty sure we've all heard this before. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So again, if you have money, that's not a bad thing. Like King Solomon had money, King David had money. We got bills that we got to pay. Ain't nothing wrong with having money. But if you choose money over the Most High, you're gonna die. If not physically, spiritually, you'll get the money. You'll get the money. Like the way the world is set up now, if you're a wicked person, you'll be rich. You'll be rich tomorrow. If you a beautiful sister and you decide to make an OnlyFans tomorrow, I guarantee you're probably gonna be making 6 figures by the end of this year. But now everybody done seen you naked. Okay, if you a brother and you sell drugs, guess what? I'm pretty sure you'll make a decent amount of money. I mean, look at the cartel. I don't even need to get into all that. Everybody knows about that. What they're doing is wicked. For the tribe of Isupk down there, Judah ain't no better. Simeon down there in the Dominican Republic doing God knows what. Our good night. We have if you go to Florida, there's a stereotype about our Levite brothers and our Cuban brothers. That they be, doing that, right? But they're rich. They're rich, but they follow their lust for money, right? And when you have that mindset of I'll do anything, that's the thing. You'll do anything for money. The Lord don't want you doing anything for money. The Lord don't want you to pervert yourself, right? The Lord doesn't want that. Because let's say, actually, no, I'll use her as an example. Cardi B. She's another sister in the world. I believe she's either Benjamin or Simeon. I'm not sure, but she's still a sister. And I remember, I'll never forget this. It was on YouTube. She was calling somebody and she was saying how she felt like there were demons in her house. And she said she felt like her old self because, sadly, we all know what Cardi did back in the day. She was a prostitute. She was she was a stripper. She did all that stuff, right? She came out and said that she did all these things, and proudly too, right? Going back to what we were talking about earlier, that a whore is, she's haughty, right? You see it on the look on her face. But then this was a moment where, now she's a mother. She's a wife now. And you could see like little things like, I just want to be a wife. I just want to be a mom. I remember seeing her on, what was it? The Jimmy Fallon, like little Saturday Night Live and all that. And she would say little things like, I gotta do better for my kid. So you saw like somewhere in there, she's like, you know what? Maybe what I'm doing is wrong. She was second guessing herself. And then she had like a mental breakdown. I don't know if the video's still up. And she was saying how, she feels like her old self is coming back. There's demons in her house. And she was just like, I just want to be a mom. I just want to be a mom to my kid. And she's crying, by the way. The sister's having a mental breakdown. And I remember seeing it, and I'm just like, damn. I guess all that money didn't solve all them problems, huh? Because you want to know what that was? That was regret. Because here's the thing. Let's say if Cardi B just decides, you know what? I'm just done tomorrow, right? She just want to stop. She's done. She wants to get out of her contract. I don't know how that goes. And she just wants to be a full-time mom. She wants to clean up. She wants to not dress provocatively anymore. Well, here's the problem. She could do that. She would need a lot of help. Salakia, she would need to come into the school. But the problem is everything she did is on the internet. And everybody can see it. And she's going to have to live with that. That's what happens to like this. Look, this is what happened with some of y'all OnlyFans sisters out there. That's what happens to y'all. I've seen some sisters who come straight out and be like, yep, nope, I wanted to do this, and I found out that I didn't want to do it. And then she got fired from her job because she finds out that, I don't know why her boss was looking at that stuff anyway, but then finds out that she on there. That follows you. You get my point? That's how the internet is nowadays. Anything on the internet, that is going to follow you. Unless you like a multi-billionaire and you know somebody that knows somebody to get it off the web, it's going to follow you. Now you have to live with that for the rest of your life. Just throwing that out there, That's all I got for that. But I hope that that answers your question. You got any other questions? Go ahead.
All right, so term money buys happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a true or false type thing? Like, does money buy happiness or does it not buy happiness?
Money buying happiness is false. Money can buy you. Okay, let me break it down like this. Money can buy you temporary happiness, but not eternal happiness. Following the law, statutes, and commandments will give you eternal happiness. Because you can be rich. Like I just said, there's plenty of brothers and sisters out there who are rich. They have all the materialistic stuff. They got the cars, they got the money, they have that. But they don't have a stable household. They don't have a wife. They don't have a husband, right? They're not happy. They're not really happy. Like a lot of these celebrities, don't let them fool you. They're not really happy. They just feel like a lot of us do. They came out of the hood. They got out of a bad situation. They wanted to make something for themselves. Some of these celebrities, they was just like us. Let's see. Khan says exactly. Them celebrities got all that money and they still not happy. I just thought about how Cardi B had a mental breakdown, but she's rich. She married. She has a kid. So you would think, okay, she won. This is a win, right? For the Black/Latino community. Some people will identify her as Afro-Latina, whatever. We ain't going to get into all that. She's one of the 12 tribes of Israel. But my point being is, she ain't happy. Not really. They'll show it on TV, but that's TV. They got to show that. You think a lot of these women who go to these clubs and do, you know what? You think a lot of them are happy? You think brothers who sell drugs, you think they're really happy? They're not really happy. But it's the lust for money and that mindset of money buys happiness. They think they're happy. They're not really happy. They're dead inside, spiritually. Because through the scriptures, you get life. Without it, you're dead inside. We were all dead before we came in here. So no, money cannot buy genuine happiness. Money's temporary. Takeoff died. He's dead. All that money, he was a multimillionaire, right? He ain't got none of that money now. He's dead. So just keep that in mind. So does that answer your question? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, brother got a lot of good questions. I like this. Most High in Christ. All right, so yeah, I'll end it with that, right? The water for everybody that tuned in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And with that, I'll begin with the prayers. So, Amadium, just me up here. La Yasharala. One second. Amadium Afwanya Hakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. I'm getting started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. You just sound that out the best y'all can, so you can just read from right there. So Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakukah, Taba'ah, Ratzaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latan Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala'a, Fabayanawa, Benasaiwan, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wataparath, Lawalumyam, Aman. Now in the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Babakasha, Lafan Lanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Call, Makala, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matazarayim, Hakak, Lahakwayim, Hamathyim, Hakak, I'll Raka, it's like it. Rakawa'ath, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, for water a month. Now in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew, Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Wa Me'aka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapyim, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazayoyan, Hakayayoyan, Waha Akwathian, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the water a month. Now in the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. For the sake of time, I'm just get through the Hebrew, and I'll just have y'all repeat it in the English. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, All, Paharim, Ma'yan, Yaba'ah, Izoria, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Ayatan, Lamawat, Wagalka, All Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shabamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Zazalka, Al-Yad, Yaminka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yapaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makor, Rai, Yashamar, Athmapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Bobo'aka, Maita, Wa'ai, Iwalam. Now in English, I will lift up my eyes into I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim, all the Mayalaka. Yeah, I'll just skip through the Hebrew. All Takarash, wa all Tashakwat, all Kayahana, Awayibika, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Ya'amwa, Sabada, Baida, Ya'itazawa, Io, Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Monakakidum, Magoya, Wala'aya Zakar, Shamya Shiralu, Auda, Kaya, Na Wa'itazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Waryath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wayashma'alium, Mawaba, Mahagarium, Gabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Balashath, Amshabia, Tazawar, Gum Ashawar, Alawa, Imam, Ayawa, Zorawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha Laham, Kamadyam, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Barakal, Koyashwan, Masha'a Mawat, Bayan Dara, Salaki, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shaitamwa, Nadayamawa, Kairab, Kazaba, Kazabak, Katazalmanai, Ko, Yakamwa, Shar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Anawa, Af, Naawath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shaitamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Raka'a, Kaash, Dabaira, Yaira, Wakalhaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Kun, Daradama, Basaraka, Wabasa, Wapavka, Dabahalam, Mala'a, Panyam, Walawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shemka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Bahawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Dayawa, Kaya, Ata, Shemka, Yahawa, Labarka, Aliwan, Alcohol, Haratazar. So now Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O Lord.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still,
And be not still,
O God.
O God.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make atonement,
enemies make a token,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
lift up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
Take the crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
against thy little ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off,
from being a nation,
being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacle of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
And the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal
Gabal,
and Ammon
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
A sword also is joined with them.
A sword is also joined with them.
They have holpen the children of Lot.
they are holding
The
the
children of Lot,
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as to the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kazan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished as a sword.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became like dust for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
make their nobles like a red,
and like Zaid.
and like Zaid,
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes
all
other
the
princes
as Zabah
as Abba
and as Zalmunna,
and as Samud,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
O my God,
oh
Oh
my
my God,
make them like a wheel,
make it like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as a stubble for the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as a fire burneth a wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set in the mountains on fire.
It's like it. So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with
With
thy
thy
tempest,
tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that man may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
or the Most High,
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Water to everybody that tuned in. Shalom, Israel.